as in MOTOTV. In this case, we customize this network for mobile electronics TV, where we actively manage the brand content of only the brands that the location sells. And we'll get into a little bit more of that and how that works in a moment. Our, our product offering, first of all, a little bit about Moto TV. It supports this service for mobile electronics. We are a company that's now just about 12 years old. We are yet, even though we're a young company, we're in thousands of stores and many verticals. Our largest vertical is in power sports. We're also in automotive, RV, action sports retailers, and marine retailers. So almost all of these verticals that we're in has something to do with what mobile electronics does. I'm sure that there's people, some of your member stores are doing installs in boats, on motorcycles, definitely cars, right? Uh, and I don't know about action sports, but certainly boats, cars, maybe even RVs. Um, well, what we typically do to help promote products that you sell in your retail location is we actively manage the content of the vendors that you sell, the products that are listed, or that you look to install into units. We can promote the products right on the TVs located in the store. Okay. Plus, there's a bunch of sales features that help you promote your product offerings and talk about your services. Um, what we do is we offer three different screen styles to do this at the point of sale. Okay. Our first screen style is called an action ticker, where the video portal is the largest out of all the other three screen styles. It's got a personalized logo, store logo. It wouldn't be this MEA logo. It would be the store logo of your choice. And it includes a message ticker along the bottom. Whatever you type in on the portal is how it comes out on the ticker, and that will constantly change. It will rotate. Um, what plays in the middle is going to be all the brands that you carry. You just check them off in our library on the portal that you get a user login for. If there's not a brand that you carry that's not there to choose, just let us know with a simple email or phone call, and we'll add it. And then the one thing you can count on is that anytime that product plays, it will be an updated video. So if there's a new video for a subwoofer, or a new video for any type of amp, it will be in the light, automatically updated and play at the point of sale. Does that make sense? Anybody? Okay.
It does make sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So the next screen style that we offer is what we call a sales L bracket, where it allows you to have type messages on the side. These are uploaded, and we include a bunch of sales messages automatically in the service that pertain to your vertical, which would be 12 volt, or custom auto shops. And there are dozens of these messages that will rotate. You select what you like that makes sense for your location, and they will rotate here on the right hand side. They call this a skyscraper in the advertising world. Okay. This is where you can highlight new products, offerings, events, um, anything that you like very easily. It's literally 2 clicks. Okay. And one of the things that we like to highlight is that up here on the upper right hand corner is your weather and time. And the reason that I want to point this out is that when customers are watching this and they see that the weather is what it is, and the forecast is for the pertaining to the area that you're in, they know that this product videos that they're watching is current. Okay. Um, this is not something that's an old video. It's going to be anything that's current related to that product. Again, we actively manage it and keep it fresh. We also, if there's old product that's got a date of when it came out or when that product came out, we remove it from the rotation, if that makes sense. Okay. Again, on this style of screen, it's got besides the skyscraper and the weather widget, it's got the store logo. So uh, it's very easily done. You send us a PDF of the store logo, and we fix it right in there. It will also rotate and spin, and it'll be highlighted. So there's a lot of movement to the screen while videos play. Okay. Again, you get to have the ticker here where you can customize it on the fly. So as soon as you change that message, if you want to promote uh, remote starters, maybe winter's coming, this is where you would do that. And the last screen that we offer is what's called our service menu board. We can also call it a message board. Everything that's on the left-hand side here is customizable. You type in what you want to promote and the price, and it shows just like that. It's that easy. It's that simple, and it's instantaneous, just about. Okay. Here you have a little bit bigger of a weather widget. This will also rotate. At some point, we're going to be adding some messages that will rotate here where the weather is with banners. They'll be similar to the skyscrapers. Okay. Your logo on this screen style is on the bottom left-hand side, along with your ticker, your sales message. Okay. Let me just move down here and show you some of the features. So one of the greatest features that we see that is, as of recent, very useful, the service ties into your Instagram business account, where it will pull any of the new messages that or posts. So if you can have 5 or 10 or up to 15 posts. Well, if someone's out and completes a build and they want to post it, the old ones will drop off and the new ones will be rotated through. These will come up in between the product videos. Okay. There's also sales messages that will come up in the video portion of any of these screens. If you noticed it, this would be the video portal. This will be the video portion or portal, and just like the larger one on the action ticker. Okay. So we also offer templates for staff bios. Maybe your customers want to know who's working on their vehicle, right? And there are also, we connected with the license company that, so if you're certified, I believe it's, help me out here, Parrish, what's the name of that,
I'm talking about MECP?
NECP,
Yeah.
yeah, NECP. So MECP certified employees, if you have those, you would click it in our portal, and that message will come up indicating that there are MECP certified employees that are working at the location. Okay. Here in the middle is if you're interested in window type of screens. I know Parrish, you said you have one in your in your window. We offer.
No, I use one for window tint with the
one
menu
for
structure
window
on the
tint.
window tint.
That's right. I heard window. I got all excited. Um,
Actually,
these are
Victor, that's a good time to sort of just like take a quick pause and introduce the fact that we have on the call with us here a gentleman by the name of Parrish Tanner from Ocala Car Audio. Did I get that all right,
How y'all doing?
Parrish?
Absolutely. Ocala Car Audio.
Beautiful. So yeah, we've known each other now probably the better part of a decade. So I'm really
Yeah.
happy to have you
Thank you.
specifically here. So Parrish is one of the avid users of METV, MOTOTV. So Parrish, do you have a few words for us of just talk about how you like the service?
You know, yeah, absolutely. I used to have TVs from the old AvidWorks displays, and I would have to upload my own, create my own content, and this and that, and it was always cumbersome to keep it updated and go to YouTube and steal a video here or there. But what I've liked about this is it's just done. I go into the back end portal and I select the brands that I want to do, and even within the brand, sometimes I think on some of the brands there's different product categories within the brand that you offer, and other ones that you
right.
don't.
That's correct.
And this makes it just a really easy set and forget, and I don't have to think about it. I use the menu structure for my window tint over by there, so our customers see we're not making prices up as we go along. The price is just the price is the price. Lynn, you're a little,
good point.
yeah, Lynn's a little different. She's a car chick, but how many women come into a store like ours and think that we're just making it up as we go along to take advantage? But this gives some transparency to that I really do appreciate quite a bit. And the
That's a
fact
great
that
point,
yeah,
Eric.
the fact that we can upload our own videos in there and you'll run my videos and my advertising in there. If I have my marketing team create something, you guys will upload that, let that run on there. And we've had power outages at work where we lose power at the store for whatever storm or an accident or something. I don't have to do anything for these just to reboot and start playing again on their own. It's a set and forget. I don't have to think about it. And as busy as I am most of the days, just not having to think about it and making sure everything's up to date and current is just something that's huge to me.
Great points you brought out, Parrish. It's true. It's a plug and play service where once you get it set up, which could take anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds, and then it doesn't take a day off, it doesn't take a sick day, it doesn't go out for a coffee break. It's constantly selling for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been on this, 3 years now or more? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yep, near 3 years.
It's worked out really well. I enjoy having it in there. It gives the guys something fresh to keep looking at all the time.
We
So,
notice, and maybe you can talk to this a little bit if it's happened in your store. If some of your sales guys are hanging around a little bit, and there's always some, well, maybe not in your store, some downtime, and if they get a glimpse of some new product, it actually educates them where they might not have the time to look up new product, and now they see something new that of one of the vendors that you carry. Have you noticed this on
um,
occasion?
I've noticed that I've seen stuff on there that I didn't know about that my reps hadn't told me that I hadn't heard from the vendor, and I'll see it on there, which is kind of nice.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
it's definitely been a nice tool.
great. Great to hear that. Yeah, we are in thousands of stores, and we hear that exact same thing all the time. And sometimes, in some cases, people reference a screen. In fact, it's happened to me, and I love to tell the story that I was in my local power sports store, and they have a service menu board, and they promote a membership, um, a loyalty membership, gift. So as you purchase more or you get a bike serviced, then you get loyalty points. And these loyalty points, well, I didn't realize it, but I went in to buy a $20 bulb for my motorcycle, and well, there was the message on the service menu board. Ask your parts counter personnel about your customer loyalty points. And so I did. And I went from now I only had points of like $25, but I ended up spending $200. So I actually the screen worked on me because I went from buying a $20 bulb to to over $200 worth of product. I probably didn't even need. Well, I'm sure at some point I'll need it, right? But if that screen wasn't there, I wasn't looking at it, and I don't mean it because it was a screen that I had to help install it, but I'm always looking at a screen, and I think that that's something that we get accustomed to. We're always now these days we're always accustomed to looking at screens. How many times have you walked into a store and they had a sign on the window on the door saying use the side door? Nobody looks at a sign. they still pull at the door. Screens they look at. It's just what we've been accustomed. It's been it's where we are in life cycle these days. We're so accustomed to looking at screens for our information, and hence that's what this is doing for any retail store, especially in the 12-volt industry. Now I just want to scroll down here a moment, show you a little bit about what the portal looks like. This is when you log in. It's as simple as typing and saving, and that's how it comes out. This is the device. It's a little 4x4x2, not even a 4x4x1.5. And this fits easily behind a TV or an AV room. And it's an HDMI to the TV. Simple. You can take one of these media players split the screen style into as many TVs as you want using an HDMI splitter. So essentially, you can have it split to 2, 5, 20. We do have a store in Colorado that they have one subscription, and it is split onto 25 TVs. Well, let me tell you, when you walk into the store, you certainly don't feel alone, and you feel like you're in the place to be, honestly. And it's very, very
Wow. I bet that makes quite an impact. You said 25 TVs, huh?
It happens to be one of the busiest power sports stores in all of Denver, Colorado, and all the surrounding areas. Fay Myers. In fact, they were one of our first customers going back just about 12 years.
Beautiful. I had clients in the past that were using one of their options for their bay, and they would actually go through like, vendor trainings and things like that on those screens so that those were not customer facing, those were actually employee facing.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That is
Oh,
actually a really good idea that I hadn't thought about. That if you could get the vendors to give you some of those trainings that we could run on those on an after hours time of a thing would be. I don't know if it makes sense, but I mean it's something neat. That's a little different.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think when we started the program, it was just like you described. We were using a YouTube link and bringing it in that way, or the vendor would supply us with their proprietary content, via a Google Drive or whatever that is. So be happy to explore that more.
What we found is that stores that try to use YouTube and let it play on a particular product's, I guess it's their channel. Um, it doesn't stay on that channel. Then you have a competing product that's up playing next, or something that has nothing to do with what they're selling. So hence that's part of the reason the service it's dedicated to the retailer and what they're selling solely. There's nothing else on there that can play. It's solely what you choose. Make sense?
Yep.
That's perfect. That's exactly what people will want is a nice customized feel. They'll have their own branding, their own hours, their own products. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe Parrish can speak to this, but when you go ahead and start choosing the vendors and the content that you're going to take, it's really a simple process of yes or no, I do or do not want this content. Is that close?
Yeah, it's just you click a box, say yes, turn it on, unclick it, it turns it off. It's really, really not difficult at all. It's pretty simple, straightforward. It's so easy a caveman can do it.
Well, I always say it's like a Fisher Price product. It's as far as the use of it. I mean, a child could,
See,
yeah, could use
so
it.
easy an installer can do it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, legitimately, the hookup on this is we put them on the screen right behind the screens. We had power ran up from the floor up into the wall. We plug them both into the same outlet, a short HDMI cable, and you don't see it. It's really, really not difficult to do. So I'm sure there's some installers that'll figure out how to screw it up because it can't be that easy. But it's pretty straightforward, and it's just easy. You don't need to overthink it.
That's very funny. Yeah, it is that
That's
easy that they're
perfect.
gonna they're gonna think that there's got to be more to it, right? But
Yeah.
there really isn't. Yeah, that's very funny. Well, good. Parrish, I appreciate you being here today, and we're happy to uh, help you out with any new product videos or uploads or anything of that
Yep.
nature. Um,
So I was going to ask, what is there an opportunity for us to put a FAQs that would start going in between some of the different things? Frequently asked questions. Hey, what's the darkest my state will do for a window tint? Or just different ones we can select
that's
what
a
those
great
facts are.
question. That's a great question. So you could put that in the ticker. That's
Okay.
a great spot to put it because that will create a conversation.
Mhm.
That definitely. Or you can, if you wanted to, you have somebody that wants to build a little FAQ in a PDF, and 2 clicks, you upload it, and it'll come up in between the videos.
Okay.
And I think that's great, and that definitely could spark a conversation. Joel is here. Joel is our sales rep consultant in the Midwest. Joel, is anything you could think of that I may have not covered, you got to unmute. Yeah, no, you haven't unmuted yet. I see your lips moving, but I don't hear anything coming out of them. You have to use the unmute on the top of the screen. We're used to using
Is that it?
There we go.
There we go.
Welcome.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Now we are recording, so just keep in mind.
All right, great. Nice to meet you guys. I cover the Midwest, and you know, any needs you may have, I could usually handle most of the questions.
Was there anything that I may have left out that you feel that you should add?
You know, if you really think about the segments of the screen, especially that ticker, that's kind of thinking of back when we just had postcards or direct mail. And that message on the bottom should just be a snapshot of a question. I take that postcard, I slap it down on the counter. It's, you know, 50% off this, or anything that you used to write a note on and stick it on something in your shop. Just a real quick snapshot. But also that thing you just brought up, I thought is a very good thing. Something to call to action, something to spur a question.
Yeah.
You know, I really like those technical questions. I tell you, I bet you every single person wants to know. I want to know, what is the legal tint level of my windows? Like, are the cops really going to pull me over right now? I mean, those are the great little leading questions that we try to get out of the features of it. And I think that's what really sets us apart. But we do, when we segment up a screen, that takes a lot of back end work to do that. Most of the time, you're just going to get a full screen video playing, because as soon as you put a ticker on there or any other features feeding into that, that takes a scheduling program that's very expensive and robust to build, and most people don't want to mess with that. So, but when we can put those sales messages in there, it's really effective. But anything we can do in those segments to call a question to one of your staff, a human being is still the person that's going to close anything. So what we try to do with this screen is get any sort of question that I can to my staff to engage the customer, to just get in a conversation about anything at all. And you know, if you have people coming in retail right now, it's just impossible for most companies. You know, most retailers would love to have foot traffic. So if you have people coming in, I mean, you have to engage them in any way possible. So that's, I think, we're so popular. It looks like entertainment, but we do try to drive revenue with it.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I like that idea of starting a discussion, and it makes me think about the Magnuson-Moss Act, which basically says that a new install of a car radio, for instance, cannot void your original car's warranty. And there's a lot of language having to do with that. But it is something, yeah, that, for instance, you know, customers don't really realize, people aren't made aware of. That's something you could put up on there and say, just kind of like, hey, this is Magnuson-Moss, this is what it means. If you ever need it, here's where to find it.
And you're such a specialty industry. When somebody's coming in to mess with that car stereo, you're dealing with this all the time. And there's so many things, when I talk to the installers and the people in this business, you take for granted that people know. I mean, all the stuff now, and the technology, and as fast as it's changing, the cameras on the mirrors, there's so many things that just, you don't even have to be super into the industry that I want to put in my car. I mean, everybody wants those products now, and you have so much knowledge that your average customer walking in doesn't have 5% of it. 2% of it. So there's so much that you can market people with that they just don't know. I'd be just talking with installers about things that they would speak to me about that they assume that I would know. I was like, unless you work in this industry, there's no way I'm going to know that that's of interest to you, or that your customers are usually interested in it. You know, we used to call it canned answers in marketing years ago, because there's only so many questions you guys are going to get, but for us, they're all first one when we come in. So,
Well, great. Thanks, Joel. Thanks a lot. Parrish, thank you. Lynn, thank you. I think we covered a lot. The one last thing I want to mention is that we did lower the prices. Our entry level screen style is $69 plus the hardware, which is a nominal fee, but it's $69 a month for our action ticker, and it will go to $89 for the menu board. So it's $69, $79, $89. I have a sales sheet, a brochure that I'm going to share with you, Lynn, that we can distribute. And when they come to the show in Atlantic City, I will actually be stopping there to see you because I'll be close by. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll have some of the brochures there. So if anybody wants additional information, and the screens will be playing. So
Great. Yeah. And I want to assure everyone that the prices that he's just talked about are so much lower than what the actual prices are for these services. So because you're an MEA member, because we offer plenty of different benefits in becoming a member of the Mobile Electronics Association, this being one of them. So for instance, just the savings that you're going to see on running a digital signboard service like this will pay for your membership. So we really encourage you to take a look at it like that. You know, the ROI on here is absolutely priceless. You don't know what that silent salesperson selling board is going to do for you while your client is sitting there. You know, they may have just a, for instance, because I recreate outdoors all the time. I'm a hiker, I'm a climber, I'm a person that runs into people that are doing van life all the time. For instance, the 360 camera is a big one now. I'll bet you if a customer is sitting there in a waiting room and sees an advertisement for this, you know, their son that's thinking about getting a van, guaranteed they're going to talk about that to them. So, you know, it's
that's
doing all this, yeah, it's doing all this silent selling that you just you won't know the impact that it has unless you give it a chance and try it. So I really just want to reiterate how important that sort of casual passive sale is. Even just upsell.
very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lynn. I didn't
Yeah,
know you were still
absolutely. Yeah. On the side, that's what I like to do in my spare time. I like to hike, climb, ice climb, anything, mountaineering, all that good stuff. So
Well, you're in Massachusetts, so you got some
That's awesome.
good terrain to
yeah,
do that.
New England is a good playground for me. But
Yeah, very much.
yeah, so we want to thank you for bringing in the special deals for us. We realize that you're taking this down quite a bit, so we thank you for that. And I'll do my best to talk as much as I can about it. We have reps out in the field that also like to talk about our services. So, you know, maybe we can make something that is friendly for the reps out there, vendor reps, distributor reps, so that when they're going into stores, they have something, whether it be digital or hard copy can be tough because distribution, but if we have a nice digital piece for them that they can pass on to dealers, that's awesome
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, we certainly can work on that.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
Great.
all right, excellent. So, if they want to get started, I'd just like to say that what you can do is you can go to join-mea.com. You can become a member of the Mobile Electronics Association. Membership starts at about $30 a month. And once you're a member, you gain access to an entire section of the website that opens up to you once you log in. So from there, you'll log in and you will have access to the METV information. Also, you can always contact me. I'm Lynn. I'm the membership manager for MEA. My direct email is lynn.sweezy@mobile-electronics.com. You could see the spelling of my name over here. So lynn.sweezy@mobile-electronics.com is the easy way to get a hold of me. There's also info@mobile-electronics.com. That'll get you to us at any time. So Victor, we want to thank you again. Joel and Parrish, thanks so much for taking the time to come on here. I know that when our members and non-members get to see this, they're going to get to signing up. So thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Much.
All
See
right.
you
Everybody
soon.
have a great night. Thanks.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.